Hello, YouTube. Here's the big headlines. We'll kind of go in order of, the biggest games, some other stuff. We'll talk about the last thing they announced at the end, though. Pokemon Legends ZA, they gave us a little bit more information about that. No release date still. They did say late 2025, which is what I think they said in the Pokemon showcase last month, which was, almost exactly a month ago. But they showed off more gameplay. It looked pretty solid, looks pretty smooth, and it's Pokemon, right? It's going to have its audience, and a lot of people are going to show up for this one. And it's also the Pokemon company. They like releasing Pokemon games late on a system, even after a new one comes out, a new system is out. So this game's probably going to do just fine. The audience for Pokemon is not super sensitive to upgrading hardware, I would assume, right, Rhys?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Pokemon will be a system seller for the Switch 2 eventually, but
True.
also, people are going to play it on the old systems. And the original Switch has sold, 150 million units. I think there's still 90 million plus active yearly users of it. They're just onto something great with that series, and I think it's just going to keep expanding kind of separately to the core series, right? Which obviously will probably come next year with the is it the 25th or 30th anniversary? I forget.
30th, I think. Yeah, it'd be the 30th anniversary. Yeah. So
I don't like that, Jeff.
Yeah, and it's it would be the 10th generation and the 30th anniversary. It's a long time, and this game will honestly probably also sell Switch One still. The Switch Lites will probably sell pretty okay because of this game. Speaking of another game that we've known about, this one we've known about for a very long time, and it has it still does not have a date. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. They did show us more gameplay than we've ever seen before. It looks fantastic. As far as we could tell, pretty rock solid 60 frames per second with that great Retro Studios art. They ended the trailer with a hot rod red Ferrari Metroid or Samus suit. Oh my God, she's a Metroid now. That's actually true. Either way, though, it looked really good, but they still just said 2025. We were kind of split. There's four of us watching this, talking over it here on Giant Bomb, Rhys, and some of us thought, okay, they're not going to say the date now because they're showing this off as a Switch 1 game, and then they will save the date as something to put into the Switch 2 Direct, which is still happening next Wednesday, 6 days from now. And then Sean was like, I don't know. I feel like they're just holding off because it's actually coming out later this year. As far as the game looks, it is, I'm a huge Metroid Prime fan. I like Metroid Prime 2 a lot. My plan is I'm going to play 3, whether they release it or not, themselves or not, I'm going to play it myself. I've never actually played Metroid Prime 3 because I had kind of fallen off the Wii by the time that was happening. So I'll play that, and then I cannot wait for this game. It looks really fantastic. Yeah.
Just quickly to say, I agree with Mike that it's going to be kind of like a Breath of the Wild situation, right? Like Nintendo was holding off on that, between the Wii U and the Switch. So I think it's going to be a similar kind of thing. But also, I just wanted to quickly mention, I love Metroid Prime. It's one of my favorite series of all time. And I really like the look of those psychic abilities. I think they have a lot of gameplay potential there, I think.
Yeah, I guess that was the new thing in the trailer itself that we hadn't seen before, which is the psychic powers. And it's, physics-based psychic powers. So kind of looking a little bit like Half-Life 2, a little bit like Geist and Psyops. I think Retro is going to have a lot of fun with that. Then there are 2 games for Switch 1 coming out in 2026. This is, a little odd, but Nintendo can be a little odd. The first one here is Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is a sequel to Tomodachi Life, which is a game we did get for the 3DS. It is a life sim game, like The Sims, and it is a little bit quirky is definitely the word, but it's a very good game for my kid who just likes to play games by telling stories to herself. It's perfect for that. And then if you also want to have, if you have a ton of goofy me's of your friends and celebrities, you can also tell some pretty silly stories as well that I have enjoyed myself. So I like Tomodachi Life a lot. Seeing this get into this Direct and be the one last thing really was pretty exciting for me. Any love for Tomodachi Life from you, Rhys?
Not really. I tried it back in the day, but it didn't hit for me. But hey, I'm still open to it. But still weird that they announced it for this, right? If it's 2026, just wait another week, Nintendo. It's very strange to me.
Yeah, it's a Switch 1 game though. So I think let's do the other one real quick and then we'll talk about what they're thinking here. So the other one is Rhythm Heaven Groove, a new Rhythm Heaven game. This is from the WarioWare team. This is like one of their other franchises. They kind of go back and forth between WarioWare and Rhythm Heaven, but we hadn't had a Rhythm Heaven the entire run of the Switch, and we had a handful of WarioWare games. So it's like, oh, are they just kind of done with Rhythm Heaven? Well, the answer is no. They showed off a very good-looking Rhythm Heaven. I think the last big Rhythm Heaven we had might have been a collection on 3DS, but there was a new one on Wii, I want to say. And I don't know if we've ever had Rhythm Heaven like in HD. So that was kind of weird to see some of these Rhythm Heaven mini games rendered in HD, and there was a bunch of new ones in there as well. So it's got a really striking look, but I really adore this series as well. This was very much a direct for me and my bullshit, so I was pretty happy with it. All right, some other games worth pointing out from this direct: Marvel Cosmic Invasion, a new Marvel superhero beat 'em up. I think it's being made by some of the people that worked on Streets of Rage 4 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the most recent beat 'em up, like Shredder's Revenge, I think is what it's called. It looks pretty good. It's kind of bringing together a lot of the characters that you might be thinking about because of Marvel vs. Capcom or Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like they're using a lot of the same like suits that they would have, like the characters would have in that game, showing up here, kind of behaving in ways that's similar to that as well. But it's a beat 'em up of the Capcom or the Marvel characters, excuse me, just kind of going through the streets and beating up, villains from the Marvel universe. I thought it looked really cool, and it's definitely a game that I'm like, we should have had another one of these by now, especially after X-Men 97 did so well, and I really liked that show. You a fan of like the old classic X-Men and arcade beat 'em ups?
Yeah. I kind of so I'm like almost 35, so I was just on the tail end of that. I just kind of caught it. So yeah, it does appeal to like our sensibilities as like, nostalgia gamers, but also like kids love Marvel properties still. Like my nephews are obsessed with Spider-Man and even
Right.
X-Men. I don't even know how they got obsessed with X-Men. But like, yeah, it kind of does bridge both worlds. And like that, I think it's going to be a sleeper hit if they market it right, if they can get it in front of kids. Like that could be like a holiday game that just every kind of kid gets. So I think it's smart. And you're right, like it's been a long time coming. Like it's wild. Like why haven't they?
Okay, two games from a different company. Patapon 1+2 Replay, a PlayStation game, but it is being published by Bandai Namco. This is the Patapon 1+2 Replay collection, and then Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, which is a new Everybody's Golf game from Clap Hands, who did Clap Hands Golf. There's some people there that worked on Hot Shots. There's a lineage going back to Mario Golf and all this stuff. I don't exactly know what that family tree looks like personally, but Everybody's Golf was a Sony Interactive Entertainment published franchise. This is another one that is also coming to Switch now. Both of these are also coming to Steam. And I don't know, maybe they're coming to Xbox. I haven't seen that myself, though. All right, other things maybe worth pointing out. There was a Disney Villains Cursed Cafe game that's out today. You make coffee, I guess, and tea with a bunch of villains from the Disney universe. There is Monument Valley 1, 2, and 3 are all coming to the Switch. There is a new Tamagotchi game where it kind of looked a lot like Animal Crossing, but with Tamagotchis. So that's interesting. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remakes were here. They looked very good. But Nintendo themselves had other announcements. The main one that I was personally most interested in was the Virtual Game Card, a new feature for easily managing purchased digital games, playing games on 2 different systems, and even lending or borrowing games. Similar in concept to moving physical game cards between systems, virtual game cards make it possible to eject and that's in quotes, a purchased digital title from one Nintendo Switch system and load it onto another, whether it belongs to a member of the same Nintendo Family Group account or a second system tied to your account. This optional feature allows you to view virtual game cards or eject them from your system. The digital game can also be linked to a Nintendo Family Group member's system via local wireless connection. Games that you lend can then be played on a Nintendo account Family Group member systems for 2 weeks, after which the game will be automatically returned to you. This feature will be available on Nintendo Switch starting late April via a new hardware system update. Additionally, virtual game cards will also work with Nintendo Switch 2 systems at launch. I think this is pretty cool, and it's great to see this come from Nintendo. It does remind me a little bit of the old Xbox One. Hey, lend your digital games to someone. Whole solution that Microsoft had before they had to go back on all that when people freaked out. Do you think that we're in a different place now? Is this just a more elegant solution overall? How do you feel about this?
Yeah, I mostly agree. I think, I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking for you, but I think you're in kind of more of a unique position that you get like codes for the Switch, right?
Yes,
And like,
yeah, and I like digital anyhow,
yeah.
but that is what got me over to digital in the first place. Is
Mhm.
Nintendo started sending out all the review codes for the 3DS as codes, and I'm like, I like this. This is better for me. So yes, I'm a digital boy.
Yeah, exactly. But I think a lot of people still, especially for Nintendo, it's like over half still will buy
Yes.
physical copies. So, when people gift their kids games, they open them kind of more physical. So I think number one, that it's a smart thing to do. And it does echo a lot of what the Xbox One did over 10 years ago, like has just come to be, right? Like always online, like digital only, like it's all kind of come to be. They were just a little bit too early and they weren't nudging gamers, they were forcing gamers.
All right. Last thing from the Direct. Nintendo Today, we touched on it a little bit. It is a new app. Miyamoto came out and talked about it, and he's like, yeah, I'll read this one as well. A brand new app that delivers Nintendo content to your smartphone. This device app is like a daily calendar which delivers a variety of content, including latest news, videos, and comics of your favorite Nintendo games and characters from select franchises. After the Nintendo Direct presentation about Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd, you'll also find information about the Switch 2 system directly on the app. Anyone with a Nintendo account and compatible smart device, it's available to download today from the App Store and the Google Play Store starting today. Yeah, I mean, listen, for me, I'm like, why can't this stuff just show up on my Alarmo? But I get most people don't have Alarmos or want them for $100. But Nintendo's certainly very weird, Rhys. What do you think the idea is behind this?
I couldn't even guess. I mean, they're doing the Nintendo Music thing. They just want to like kind of be the arbiters of their own messaging, I guess. But like, I don't know. There are so many smartphone apps already. People are using social media for this stuff. Like maybe the family audience, but like I don't know. I don't think this is gonna like penetrate users that much. Who wouldn't? But it's just Nintendo things. But who knows? It could become the biggest damn thing in the world. If this is the app that they use to trickle through information about the Switch 2, then we'll all use it, right? I'll use it as an analyst. You'll use it as a journalist/analyst. Like we'll all be like hanging on this app's every word. So it just really depends how they distribute information through it.